Hello, my name is Edwin Mulitalo, and I'm a proud native of one of the greatest cities on earth, San Francisco. So when it came time for me to pick a topic to speak on, it was easy. I wanted to share with you my top 4 things to do if you came to visit San Francisco. There was one problem. It was on everyone's top 4 things to do. You ask anyone who was coming to visit San Francisco, and they would say the same thing. And that got me thinking. I started to reevaluate my list. I thought to myself, what do I know as a local, or having grown up in San Francisco, that the average tourist or the average person coming to visit San Francisco doesn't know? What can I tell you that you would miss just because it's not as big as the Golden Gate Bridge, or not as iconic as a cable car ride? And I realized there are many unique things about my city. Did you know that we have a golden fire hydrant? I shouldn't say golden, a gold fire hydrant? Or 30-foot concrete slides? Everyone's heard of Alcatraz, but did you know that they give night tours? Or how about coming to the Fisherman's Wharf and playing some arcade games that date back to the 1800s? Maybe you've been to San Francisco, maybe you think you've seen it all, but I'm here to tell you that there's much, much more to my city by the bay. These are the little known gems, the little local secrets that I'd like to share with you. That no matter how many times you come to San Francisco, you can discover something new. And whenever you leave, you just can't wait to get back. Now let me start with one of the smaller landmarks of San Francisco. Now in the Mission District, just above Dolores Park, there's a fire hydrant. Its nickname is the Little Giant. In 1906, San Francisco was devastated by an earthquake. It has been said to be one of the greatest natural disasters in U.S. history. Thousands of people lost their lives. Hundreds of thousands of people were left homeless. Over 80% of the city was destroyed. Can you imagine a local major city today being destroyed up to 80%? The loss of life and devastation was due mainly because of the fire that raged for 4 days after the quake. Because of all the water main breaks, many of the fire hydrants ran dry. The Mission District will soon fall victim to the fire until they found the Little Giant with a steady flow of water. Listed on the San Francisco Museum History Timeline for April 21st, 1906, it says, "The fire that swept the Mission District was stopped by 3,000 volunteers and a few firemen who fought the blaze with knapsacks, brooms, and little water from an operating fire hydrant at 20th and Church. To this day, every April 18th, its neighbors and its descendants hold a memorial service, and the Little Giant gets a fresh coat of golden paint." Now, not far from Dolores Park, there's another park that I'd like you to visit, but for a totally different reason. Now, in the Castro, there are 2 30-foot concrete slides that are open to the public. Now, Maria, who publishes elaborate San Francisco Bay Area day trips for FarOutCity.com, best describes it when she writes, "If you find your trip to San Francisco a bit too staid or a bit too safe, it's time to head over to the Seward City Slides." Designed by a 14-year-old resident in the early 70s, these slides were a result of a neighborhood coming together to fight to prevent overdevelopment in their community. Because of their efforts, city legislation now requires a minimum amount of open space in new development, and everyone can enjoy these extremely fast and slippery slides. One great advantage for these slides is that it's free. Just don't forget your cardboard, or you're going to be ending up with some holy pants. Now, whether you're going down these slides for yourself or going down to watch someone else, whenever you see a sign that says "No adults unless accompanied by children," you're bound to have fun. Next on my list is a notorious island and prison, Alcatraz. Now, many of us know of Alcatraz, but Alcatraz gives night tours for that extra eerie feeling. Now, the pre and post prison history is not well known. One of the earliest usage of Alcatraz was one of West Coast's one of the West Coast's first lighthouse, and also for a fort harbor during the Civil War. Now, when Alcatraz closed, a few Native American families claimed the island and actually lived there for 18 months. But Alcatraz is most famous for being America's first maximum security prison from 1934 to 1963. Now, this prison housed infamous criminals such as Al Capone and George Machine Gun Kelly. Alcatraz gives a unique insight to the golden age of crime in America. In all, there are 14 escapes. There are 14 escape attempts, and from 36 prisoners, none were known to succeed. According to the Bureau of Prison website, Alcatraz closes after 29 years of operation due to its cost. It was 3 times more expensive to run Alcatraz than any of the other prisons at the time. Now, after returning from Alcatraz to Pier 33, short distance to one of my favorites, Musée Mécanique, which in French means mechanical museum. Located at Fisherman's Wharf, it's home to over 200 operational games that date back to the 1800s. Ed Zielinski started collecting his beloved games at the age of 11, and now has one of the largest collections in the world. His son Dan operates and runs his collection today. Admission is free. All you have to do is just pay to play. Musée Mécanique promises to take you on a journey to the turn of the century, from hand-cranked music boxes to up-to-date arcade games. I love it because it's both history and nostalgic. But the cool thing is, I get to get a glimpse at what my grandfather's generation did for fun before the Xbox was discovered. Now I hope, by sharing some of my gems of this city or some of my local secrets, that I have sparked some interest or some curiosity in you, that you may come and experience San Francisco in a whole new light. If you've never been to San Francisco, I invite you to come and discover my beautiful city. And if you've been to San Francisco, then I invite you to come and experience it in a way that tourists don't usually do. Come slide down 30-foot concrete slides. Go on a night tour of Alcatraz. Come to Fisherman's Wharf and play arcade games that date back to the 1800s. Or come pay tribute to our golden fire hydrant that has seen one of U.S. Greatest natural disasters. If you do, I think you'll see why Kipling said, San Francisco has only one drawback: 'tis hard to leave.